out of the storm. I don't want to be disproportionately enthusiastic, but it seems like our idea worked. Our idea? Yes. We brainstormed, didn't we? Sure. Shouldn't it be here? The exploration vehicle? We're close to the rendezvous point. It can't be far.
Come see me. I'd like to draw your attention to something.
Jan, come and see me. There's a matter I want to discuss.
The rescue team is just around the corner. Hope you're happy we did it your way.
Yeah, but it breaks my heart that we lost a part of the team. Part of ourselves. Maybe there's still a way to get them back.
You wanted to talk about something?
Yeah, I thought we should talk about what happened.
Go ahead.
I feel bad about losing a part of our group, irreversibly. And it burdens me that I am, at least partly, responsible for that.
No. The responsibility is mine. All of it.
Kind of you to take the weight off my shoulders, but it's not that simple. I encouraged you to follow Maxwell. Don't get me wrong, I'll never regret steering clear of the corporation, and I still believe they are the root of all evil.
If we do get to beat them, I don't know if I'll be able to celebrate properly, because it would come at the cost of something invaluable. Fraternity.
And if this is the price we have to pay, I'm not sure I know what being a leader is about anymore.
A real leader keeps his people together, even if it means risking failure. At least they'll fail together.
Well, I wish things were simpler. Like in our Boy Scout days. Maybe having fun and looking for adventures with a bunch of fierce ocelots really was the whole point of it. And never mind. I just needed to open up to someone. Thanks for hearing me out.
I should look for the rebels. Who knows where they went?
Jan, I think we need a few more repair kits. Am I needed there? Do you want me
Any
to help
progress
that?
with finding the TUR vehicle?
We've almost made it. How are you doing?
I'm trying not to think about it. Focus on the job. I almost envy those bastards that ran away. At least they know the shit that's gonna hit them. Or maybe I just wish we were all together in this, you know?
I was wondering, aren't we getting any signal from the TUR vehicle?
We are, but it's ambiguous and very faint. It seems to be close by, but I'm unable to establish its exact location. So, you'll need to find it on your own.
take a look around.
Good. We don't really know why we were lured here.
Lured? You don't mean.
Look, it's the technician we're talking about. An unstable, frustrated, resentful version of us. Whatever survival strategy he's boiled up, we had better have a heads up. The only way to guarantee that is to locate that vehicle. Maybe they left some analog tracks? Just be careful.
Hey there. How are you? Still feeling confident about things?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
You sure? That didn't sound very convincing.
No, it's just that I thought I'd be more happy about completing that old research of mine. But the more I think about it, the less reasons I have to celebrate.
What now?
What I mean is, it's a big success, but so what? Even if I do make it back alive, no one will ever know who's behind it.
And here I was thinking you were doing it for science.
Of course I was. I devoted my whole life to science. Does that mean I should just disappear into the shadows like a ghost? It's just sad that having done so much for society, I won't even be able to be a part of it like a normal human being. Publicly, I won't even exist.
But you will live through your work. And what can be more rewarding for an inventor?
Being recognized for his input. But in this world, you are the one who will get recognition for what I achieved, because you are Jan Dulski.
Well, you have to admit that, scientifically speaking, you are me, so...
In theory, yes, but what good is a theory if it doesn't stand up to the facts? And the facts are that empirically, I am not you. I have my own autonomous identity.
No arguing with that.
You see, I don't need the world to remember my name. I want it to acknowledge my distinctive existence. And I need to know that if I'm gone, you'll take care of it.
I will. I'll tell the world the whole truth about who you were, how special you were.
The truth.
Yes.
Mom always said it's the best solution when you don't know what to do. Your loyalty means a lot to me, but I'm afraid that's not a viable option. You'll just be taken for someone who lost his sanity while stranded all alone in space.
Okay. How about Jan S. Dulski? Huh? S for...
Yes, I get it. Thanks.
So? What do you think?
Or we could make you a profile on social media. That's sweet. Thanks. But anyone who fact-checks it will quickly find out that it's fake. There are no records of me working at my university, no earlier publications. I appreciate the idea, but... to hell with it. I guess there really is no choice but to go with your name. Our name. Whatever. For posterity.
Hello?
Jan? What a relief. We thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did I.
The base got caught in a huge sandstorm, and I lost part of my crew.
What? Your alters? How could you let that happen?
I guess I failed to make them feel safe enough. They were so uneasy about their future, and that business with Tabula Rasa didn't help. Apparently, they thought they'd be better off in that cold, hostile desert than in my base.
You mean they ran away? And they're exposed to radiation?
They took the exploration vehicle and some supplies.
Tell me not all of them left?
No. Why?
The ship is close, Jan. You have to be ready for the arrival of the rescue team.
Ready? How?
They can't find out about your alters.
What? Wait a minute. Aren't you the head of mining operations? Aren't these your people?
They might answer to me, but their paychecks are signed by Ally Corp. And if you confront them with your alters, they will have to react. The board will not tolerate anything that could cast even the slightest shadow on the legitimacy of this operation. And the rescue team is on their leash. Do I have to spell it out to you? They will have your alters killed.
What? Killed? What kind of a rescue team are they?
They're a special ops unit. Military men.
You could have told me earlier.
Please, Jan. You always knew their primary mission was to escort the most precious cargo mankind has ever seen. Did you really expect them to arrive unarmed?
So you lied to me. That you'd prepare them.
I told you I'd test the waters, and that's what I did. But there is a lot of pressure on your success, Jan. A lot of anxiety amongst the top management. They can sense the vultures hovering around them, waiting for any sign of a slip-up. And they won't let them smell blood. They won't expose themselves.
So what exactly is your plan?
The rescue team will arrive shortly before sunrise. You have time until then to come up with a way to smuggle your alters on board. In the meantime, you need to keep collecting Rapidium.
Yeah, sure. Once we take off, what happens then?
You will all go into cryosleep, and as the ship approaches Earth, Lucas will take remote control over it and modify the coordinates. The ship will land in a secluded location I've been preparing.
And what about the crew?
They'll be in cryosleep during the landing. And by the time they wake up, we will be far away. I have a lab ready, and a guarantee of immunity from people who understand. I'm moving operations to a more science-friendly region, somewhere Ally Corp won't get to us. And, most importantly, where nobody will ever find your alters.
You're putting them in a lab?
I won't sugarcoat it. We've come too far together for that. If you wanted to hate me, I probably gave you enough reasons by now. Truth is, when I first heard about you, your situation, well, I'd be lying if I said it all came together immediately. On the contrary, I didn't hope for much. An accidental castaway with no qualifications, all alone, burdened with such a responsible task. But when Lucas told me you did it, you created your alter and managed to convince him to cooperate with you, couldn't help but fantasize about where this could go. Can't you see? I've been waiting for something like this ever since they shut down Project Ela.
Yeah, about that. I heard some disturbing things about your experiments. Is it true your patients... well, that they lost their minds?
Of course. That was the whole point. They were losing their old dysfunctional identity to gain a new, sound one. Whoever told you this must have heard some scraps of information and didn't have a full understanding of what we were doing. Yes, they were unorthodox things, but it was always about making people better. Project Ela was my whole life, Jan. Why would I devote myself to something harmful?
You never stopped dreaming about reviving it.
You wouldn't be so surprised if you knew what we could achieve.
And Lucas told me you wanted to help war veterans, patients with PTSD.
Yes, that was the initial scope. But we could have done so much more. But take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
What? How?
The Tree of Life. You've seen yours, but it's just a projection, a rudimentary interface. Think about it. What if it was no interface, but an integrated part of the human mind, allowing us to live our lives exactly the way we should?
The way we should? What? You mean, make the right decisions?
Exactly. The human cognitive system enhanced in a way evolution failed to do in millions of years.
I tried to do something like that. Using your upgrade, I tried to alter myself into someone who always makes the right decisions.
And? What happened?
I realized it's more complicated than that. That what I thought were bad choices can objectively be good ones.
Exactly. This is where the real breakthrough should happen. We have to be able to define a choice as good or bad by an objective, quantum-calculated analysis of its outcome in an instant.
Wow, that's amazing.
More than that. Imagine a world where nobody ever takes the wrong turn. Children are never harmed. There are no court misrulings because there is no crime. Greedy and corrupt individuals never come to power, and because of that, wars never break out. Can you see now why your success meant so much to me? Do you not understand that giving Rapidium away for any other purpose would mean robbing humanity of its biggest evolutionary leap since we crawled out of the primordial soup? Do you still think there is a better purpose for your altars than to contribute to all that?
I'm not their owner. They're people in their own rights. I can't decide their fate for them.
That's very noble. But in a way, you've already done that when you created them. Look, all I'm asking is several weeks in a lab where I can run some tests on them, collect data, and prepare for the bigger leap.
And then what? You let them walk free?
You know I can't do that. It would be too risky for both of us and for them. But I could guarantee them a comfortable life. They would be hidden from the eyes of the world.
Imprisoned.
The only alternative for them is to be disposed of by the corporation, like waste. I think you need to take a breath. There's a lot to think about. How to smuggle your alters aboard that ship, for one. But first, you have to guide their navigator to your exact position. They'll need you to mark the spot with a beacon. Start with that, and then I trust you'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I wasn't an accidental survivor.
What do you mean?
The quantum computer chose me. Seems I was the one who had the biggest chance of making it.
Well, doesn't that just prove my point? We are capable of so much more than we think, Jan. All we need to do is open the door and let that potential in. You'll hear from me again before the ship lands. Good luck, Jan.
Hey, man.
Jan, what's up?
Well, I'm calling to let you know Pydium's piling up in the base nicely.
I really don't know what to say. It's amazing. With all those challenges you're facing up there.
Well, it's now or never, right?
Yeah, it really is. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What's the first thing you'll do when you get back?
Don't know yet. I need to get this thing done first. I'll think of other things later.
Of course. You know what I think? You'd make a good Spartan warrior. Fight first, rest later. Ever think of doing anything just for yourself?
I will. When I get this done.
Well, I'll hold you to that. Okay, enough talking. We better get back to business, huh? Oh, can't wait till you get back and you and I can talk in person.
Sooner than you think. I'll try to keep pushing with Rapidium.
Okay. Seems like nothing's too hard for you.
Not when I set my mind to it.
Amazing. Better leave you to it then. I'll 7 out.
See you around, pal. Found the tour already? Those rocks, they're shaped like trees. What are they really?
That light. I need to get there.
Well, they have the tour, some basic supplies. Maybe they thought this through.
Sure they did. They had to plan this ahead. Robbing us, beating up Jan. I thought we were friends.
Any progress with finding the tour vehicle?
Hey man, I've noticed you've been down lately.
It's nothing. Come on, talk to me. Anything I can say that could lift your spirits?
Well, I think knowing that I made a difference is what keeps me going. But do I? Really? I don't feel the impact I had with the Union.
Of course you make a difference. You care about others and make their lives better. We need people like you.
Thanks. It means a lot.
The odds are slim, but they do have the tur. Maybe they'll just survive out there.
I wish they didn't have to. It sucks that things had to get so ugly. We almost made it as a team. Where'd my stuff landed here?
I finished my tasks. Want me to take care of this now? is damaged. Should I work on this while you're scheduling repairs?
Tire tracks. It must be the tour vehicle.
At least I know which way they went.
Detectors and car to the left. Maneuvering here must have been a nightmare.
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
Holy fuck. What's happened?
Those rocks look like they collapsed recently. There's definitely something on the other side, but I can't drill through here. Okay, this looks promising. I'm done here. Should I do this now? Is that a shelter? There you are. You okay? Huh? Seriously? That what you want to talk about? I thought I'd never see you again. You got some guts to follow us all the way down here. Don't you get it? The party's over. I got the impression you wanted me to find you. Oh yeah? And what gave you that impression? The light? Why else would you bother with it? It's not for the rescue ship, is it? I wouldn't have made it through the sandstorm without it. Yeah, well, I was pissed at you, but leaving you out there to your death, I'm not that guy. You're going to die if you stay out here any longer. Anything's better than serving as lab-grown meat for Maxwell's experiments. You're right. It was a mistake to trust him. I learned some disturbing things about his project. To be honest, the man is starting to scare me too. Oh yeah? Tell that to Tabula Rasa. Your mistakes actually have consequences for others. Admitting to them won't take that back. So, you really want to stay out here? How do you intend to survive the sun? In the tour vehicle? Are you kidding me? That thing is good protection against radiation, but it won't withstand the sunrise. Only a proper shelter will. And this place provides the perfect terrain for one. So that's what you're building. Yeah. And it's no picnic, so why don't you get back to your base and just let me get on with it? Is there anything I can do? Yeah, let it go. Do you have enough food? That's none of your business. You don't have enough food. There's not enough of anything, okay? Are you happy? But I don't want your fucking help. Just go, okay? You're making things worse. Nice. I don't know that movie.
I finished my tasks. Want me to take care of this now?
I was missing that.
You think they're gonna make it? Out there? They don't stand a chance. We'll be feeling guilty for their deaths. Seriously, what was he thinking, leaving the base like that?
I found the tour vehicle.
You found the others? They alive?
Yeah. I talked to the technician, but he wasn't very happy to see me. I get the impression they're struggling out there. I was wondering if maybe we should share some of our supplies with them.
Out of pity? Huh. You think they'd want that?
You tell me.
Well, I think if I was out there, I'd probably want to live, yeah. But what about us in here? What if we don't make it? Maybe we should focus on that.
I thought you'd like to know that I ran into a completely new kind of anomaly. First thing that came to my mind was that it's some sort of a prism distortion. Really? What gave you that thought? Well, it behaved as if the reality around me suddenly split up into many different fragments. Wise of you to bring it to me. Any observations on interaction? Well, it didn't seem to do anything specific to me physically. No radiation. But it sure was messing with my brain. Felt as if I was in several different places at once. In a way, you might have been. Huh? You mean? Remember how I told you that anomalies are places where our world intersects with the interworld? Well, what you're describing suggests a distortion in which it comes into contact with not one, but many proximity planes. Entering it is likely to evoke a sensation of being in several parallel realities at the same time. Calling it a prism is accurate, because it refracts your consciousness into many simultaneous states.
Shit. As if I didn't have enough reasons to lose my sanity around here.
Oh, good point. Best not spend too much time inside them. Plus, I suppose it must make exploration very inconvenient.
Can I destroy them like the others?
It should be possible. You just need to locate all of its cores and take them down one by one.
All right. Thanks for the tip. I found our rebellious party. They're alive. Looks like they have no bad intentions, just want to be left alone.
What for? To die in that exploration vehicle?
They're building a shelter.
Oh, please. Spare me the details. They should be putting those skills to use here, helping us, not making a sophisticated grave for themselves. Quitters.
I found the Tur vehicle. You did? Are they okay? I'm not sure. I only talked to the technician, and you know him. Won't ever ask for help. Well, could we help them? Maybe. We could share some of our supplies with them. Of course, right. We should do that. Even if it means more effort for me. Believe it or not, I'm ready to grind. I don't know about you, but, I feel terrible about what happened. We should do our best to fix it.